Hello, and welcome to Water in the 505-575. I'm Joni Palmer, your guide on this journey about water in New Mexico. Today, I will be talking with Heather Himmelberger, the director of an interdisciplinary team that is producing this podcast. Heather, would you tell us a little bit about your title, the organization that you work for at UNM?
I'm the director of the Southwest Environmental Finance Center, and we've been in existence since about 1992. And our organization is pretty unique across the country and within the University of New Mexico, as we're an organization that does all public service. So our entire mission is public service. We help water and wastewater utilities all over the country with better management and finance techniques, also some technical aspects of how to comply. And we're just out there trying to help as best we can to make the nation's water and wastewater systems as good as they can be.
You know, with that, based on that mission, the online learning academy to improve knowledge of New Mexico water resources, how is this a part of your organization? How did this come to be?
Well, we feel like one of the big issues is there's not a great place to go for where you can find really good, neutral, fact-based information about water, where it comes from, what certain things mean, why we disinfect, how water service is done, where the water comes from. There's all these basic questions that the public may not know about, and maybe even elected leaders who have to make really big decisions about how to spend their money and spend the taxpayer dollars on water and wastewater infrastructure. Sometimes it's the biggest expenditure that community has, and they're making these big decisions without a lot of knowledge or background about water issues. And we thought that one way we might be able to help is to provide that neutral, fact-based information in a way that's easy to consume, easy to understand, and have one place that people could go and try to find that information out. So we started this learning academy to try to fulfill that type of mission across the country and within the University of New Mexico, as we're an organization that does all public service. So our entire mission is public service. We help water and wastewater utilities all over the country with better management and finance techniques, also some technical aspects of how to comply. And we're just out there trying to help as best we can to make the nation's water and wastewater systems as good as they can be. So this podcast series was kind of a way to introduce folks to their water professionals that are out there in the community making the water run, and maybe they're not aware of them or know what they're doing and how they're doing it. So we thought we'd just share a little bit about that.
And so you're talking about, you're alluding to a team. Who's involved in this effort for the Learning Academy as well as the podcasts?
So we have gathered a big team across the University of New Mexico, and this is part of the whole reason that UNM started the Grand Challenge. So UNM wanted to have Grand Challenge initiatives to bring different parts of campus together, where we're kind of working on different pieces of issues and maybe don't even know that each other are out there. So the Grand Challenge was a way to bring us all together and start to make those bridges across campus between different departments. And this is a really interesting collection of folks. We have some people from the School of Fine Arts in the film department. We also have folks from the Geography and Environmental Studies, Community Regional Planning, and the School of Engineering. We also have graduate students and undergraduate students. So it's a large group of us who are out there trying to work together, and we've really forged some interesting relationships and have seen how arts and sciences blend very, very well together, and that helps to make the communications better. So instead of just science or just art, we bring them together and really have something that's much greater than the sum of the parts.
And so with this whole team, everybody's involved in producing this podcast.
Yes, everybody. And there's a piece for everybody in this. We've had students who are going out and filming. We have students involved in the editing portion. We have different folks doing interviews and contacting utilities. So this is a very much a group effort with lots of different people. So the result of the podcast is really from many different individuals putting their little touch into this, and I think it'll make a really good example of how campus can work together and how UNM can be a real resource, especially at a time like now.
What do you want people to know about this project? Kind of a sound bite that that people can carry with them.
Water really is life, and the more you know about it, the more it will help you and help you support your water operators and make that water world even better.
Thank you, Heather, and good luck with the project.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to this episode. This project is supported by the UNM Grand Challenges Initiative, specifically the Sustainable Water Resources Team. Starting with the interdisciplinary team comprised of faculty, staff, and students from across the UNM main campus. Thanks to Heather Himmelberger, Francine Stefan, and the rest of the staff at the Southwest Environmental Finance Center. Many thanks to the faculty and students in the Department of Film and Digital Arts. Thank you, James Stone and Dan Galasini, who worked with undergraduate students to produce this podcast. Thank you, Lizzie Embick, Jace Redoblado, and Felina Martinez. And thank you to my research assistants, Samantha Stroud and Melissa Madrigal, undergraduate students in the departments of Geography and Environmental Studies and Community and Regional Planning. We appreciate Eileen and the In-Betweens, a local social justice indie folk group who have graciously allowed us to use their fabulous music in this podcast. If you would like to learn more about this project, please visit our website, efla.unm.edu. Thanks, and see you next time.